Okay, folks, so there are 9 hours left on this Kickstarter, and I thought it was like over a couple days ago, but when I just checked, it actually has 9 hours to go. And so I was like, you know what? It's not too late for me to make a video. So I'm going to make a video, and there's going to be like 5 of you out there who are going to see it in time for it to be impactful for. But nonetheless, let's talk about Paw Borough. So Paw Borough is a feline virtual browser role-playing game. Sound familiar? And
Hello everyone,
ooh,
we're the Paw Borough team and we're super excited to show you the game we've been working on. Paw Borough.
I remember when I first found out about this, I was actually in Kansas State. And when I saw that this is originating from Kansas City, Missouri, that really flipped my lid because I live in St. Louis, Missouri. And I love the idea of supporting a local game developer, like local to my neck of the world. Like, usually, these folks are very spread out across the world. Sometimes they're in the Americas, and sometimes they aren't. So it's pretty exciting for me to see that this one's taking place in Kansas City. All right, so we've got some text of what the features are, but here we go. The criticisms that I've heard, like on Twitter and in the virtual pet diaspora online, is that it looks too much like Flight Rising, in particular, the cat creator demo. But I think that's like saying that, like, using the format of the dollar or something is generic. It's just like there's a best possible format, and you can't really blame websites for using preferable formats. Like the sidebar on the side of the page that we're seeing right now, it's like, well, yeah, you're gonna see that. The page, I mean, this, it to me, it's just like they're similar because it's the best practice, not so much they're similar because they're cheating. But even if they were copying work from Flight Rising, wouldn't that make sense? Because Flight Rising is the most popular game on the internet, and if you're going to start somewhere and iterate from there, you would want to start with literally the best possible iteration of something, and then uh, modify and adapt to your individual needs from there. All right, so we've got 3 folks, on the development team, and then these are the artists. Always love to see that there are multiple people involved. This has raised $70,000 so far. I'm going to pledge to this project simply because I always like to. And that way, when it launches, I may have access to it. This video is going to be kind of quick and dirty in the sense that I'm not really editing it to the full potential. So it's more about getting the word out with some hours left to go on this project. Okay, let's see. I'm just going to skim through the rest. All right. Okay, let's do this. To me, it makes sense to do a cat-based one simply because of all of the energy that was stimulated around the Warriors franchise, you know, the Warrior Cats. I never read those books. I've heard that they get a little wild as the plot goes on, which they kind of have to if you're to keep a franchise alive that long. So let's see, there's the beta. Yeah, I'll probably get this one. Let's see. So this gives you access to the game before it launches to the public. There's some Kickstarter unique items, which is always a tough thing to navigate as a game developer because there are people who are only going to find out about this game from this video, and then after the Kickstarter completes in 9 hours, and it's just like you're getting punished for not being aware of things. I understand that it's like an added incentive to back the Kickstarter at a higher level. You know, you just really have to, as a developer, negotiate that internally. So, you know, I leave that up to you guys. All right, there were some early bird rewards, then there's the unlimited ones. So this is the beta tier. I might do it at this one. I might do it at the digital. I don't think I've got more in my budget right now than $10, but let's see. There might be something, let's see if there's one that comes with multiple beta keys. There we go. Because you could give a key to a friend. So that's what makes that attractive to me. So I'll consider getting one with a duplicate beta key so that I can share one with a follower if anybody's interested. And then they've got the designing stuff. There's always that. All right. And then the stretch goals. New breeds, themes, companion overlays, Faunapedia, so that would be more companions at launch. Accessories for babies. Accessories for babies is kind of like a tough thing to do. Okay, this is how their funding is going. I have not talked to these developers, so I can't really provide like an insight on what they're bringing to the table. But, I mean, this is a very coherent video that they put together and Kickstarter page. I'm willing to back it at the level that they have it available at. When we talk about like the risk involved with Kickstarter, like you're not going to get a return on investment in the sense that you're going to buy something for $10 and then somewhere down the road get $20 out of it. When you're backing a Kickstarter, what you're really doing is paying to be a part of a Kickstarter campaign because there's no way of knowing whether or not things will ever deliver. I have so many objects in my house that are a result of Kickstarter campaigns, and some of them are garbage. And so it's just like, yeah, I got the thing that was promised to me, the thing that was marketed to me, but it still sucks. And so it's just like, well, then was it a scam? No, it wasn't a scam. They gave you what you wanted. And when it comes to things like games on Kickstarter, there can be the absolute intention, the willingness to deliver a product, and something unforeseen happens and it doesn't get delivered. And so in that situation, you ask yourself, well, was I scammed? It's just like, well, what's the definition of a scam? Because if they intended to, they had every intention, everything put in place to do it, and something unforeseen knocked them off the path. Is that a scam? Because to me, the intention kind of decides whether or not it's a scam. So I am going to support this Kickstarter because it is worthwhile for me to do so. If you do not have the $5, like if you are struggling to put gas in your car or food in your fridge or to pay for your pet's vaccines, don't. It's going to be fine. You'll be able to get buy the Kickstarter stuff in the marketplace maybe. It's not worth it, right? So you have to take into consideration your own like risk appetite. And for me, it's high because all I'm risking here is that my money is going to a Kickstarter campaign. I'm not so much concerned about what the Kickstarter campaign is going to deliver to me. That being said, I am kind of vouching for it in this video, so clearly I'm taking on a little bit of risk because if it is a disaster, I'm not seeing anything here that makes it look like a disaster. There are multiple developers, there's a large artist team. I'm confident that across that many stakeholders that there's going to be something viable here. However, I'm not incredibly confident, right? I would say I'm 60% confident just because I've sat down to look at this page twice. And one of those times I was at dinner with a film crew because we spent all day on set, right? And then the second time is right now. So I haven't thoroughly vetted it. I'm 60% confident just because it's a coherent Kickstarter and that takes a lot of work to put together. But, that's a 40% chance that, that I believe and that I'm assessing that it could be fake. So take that into consideration and do your own vetting if you're planning on backing this. And otherwise, I will keep you guys updated maybe with progress on this. All right. Well, I will talk to you later. Bye.